Alright, and I am back. And today we are going to be taking a look at me knocking over the camera. Awesome. Sorry. We're going to be taking a look at the KO Masterpiece Red Alert. So here he is in his robot mode. Let's see. He comes in a box. This is still one of my irritations on the KOs is the fact that they're using the same exact box. I really wish that they would design their own box or something. You know, something that says KO. You know, I really liked how Fans Project did their G2 breakdown figure and had like a big picture of known KOs of Fans Project items. You know, it'd be fun if this company, you know, KO'd him, didn't do the Autobot logo so they can, you know, so they're not quite as ripping them off entirely. So and so that we can know right off the bat, okay, this is a fake one, but still good. And then, like, you know, on the back it has, you know, all their KO line that they have. I think that would be really good and a lot more beneficial for me and collectors to know which ones are KOs. But yeah, it looks pretty much identical to a real box with the holographic thing there and everything. Now, I do not have the original or the real MP 14 Red Alert, so I can't really compare it to the real Red Alert. So down in the description below I'm going to be putting a link to Rocket Punch Army, one of his reviews. He said I can, and he goes into full comparison. He gets them side by side and shows off every little detail. He does a really good job on it, on comparing the two. So this review is going to be not based on if he's up to par with the real one. This is going to be just a review of him, this figure by himself. No comparisons really. Just what I think of this figure at the cost that I got him for, which was like $30, $35, something like that. So we'll go into posability and accessories in this mode, and then we'll go into transformation, to and from car mode, and then final thoughts and some size comparisons. Again, if you guys take a look at my Autobot Army video I just did, if you guys want to see any particular size scale with these guys, just let me know and I'll be happy to do it for you. But as it is, I just have a few figures that I'm going to compare them to. So anyway, so he's got this little doohickey that kind of just sits over his head, to kind of symbolize when he was losing his mind in the original G1 cartoon. Zoom in there. Yeah, there we go. So there's that. It's one of those, I don't really care for it, but that's a nice add-on. So we'll set that off to the side. Back out. He does have a rifle. Now the rifle, for the right hand, pretty much just does not peg in for me. And that's really unfortunate. It doesn't, I mean, it goes in and then it just comes right back out. It does not hold in there at all. It's very unfortunate, because I prefer my robots to be right-handed. So, as you can see, he's kind of holding it, but it's very loose. Now, his left hand, on the other hand, does hold it a lot better. It's still loose, Nothing I can't tighten up myself, just by adding a little extra plastic to the sides of the handle onto this little peg. These two little pegs here, they're just not thick enough. So if I thicken them up a little bit by just dabbing a little glue or nail polish on there, that should fix it. Now the gun, I don't have the original, so I can't really say, but this gun does feel pretty hollow. So I don't know if that's typical with the other Masterpiece figures, but this one does feel pretty hollow to me, and it's just weird because it's like you'd think that something like this they just make one solid piece, but they didn't. So I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be or not, but that is what I'm noticing. So we'll set the gun off to the side. And then the last thing he does have is his shoulder cannon here, which is really nice. It clicks in very well. I mean, I can... Oh, there it goes. Hold the figure up for a good amount of time with it. It looks great. I really dig it. And it can go on either side. So it kind of depends on what you prefer. I think this side just works better on many levels. But yeah, I mean, it works great. I really dig it. It's got some great paint apps. I mean, yeah, it's just paint red and silver, but I mean, I could tell that this back part is red plastic because, you know, it doesn't. There's no seam or anything, so this is all red plastic. So they painted it really well, and I don't see any blemishes in there, aside from like in that hole right there, and then like right where the silver starts, and that's just because that's where it starts. But yeah, there's no chips. I mean, it's a really nice solid silver. And you know, this is a KO figure, so I'm impressed by things like that. It's like, okay, they did this and they did this well. Onto the figure itself. So for posability, his head is on a swivel. Oh no, it's on a universal hinge, which is good. His head does open up. I think that's for transformation. Although when I transform him, I don't seem to need to do anything with that, but it does open up. So was there like some sort of face gimmick? I can't. Like I said, I never had the original, so I don't know these things. Oh well. So yeah, the head opens and closes. Really nice face sculpt. They really copied it very well. Very well painted. The chest piece, again, very well painted. Straight lines, no blemishes there. Everything looks good. Autobot logo looks a little blurry, but not really bad at all. Shoulders are on the universal hinge, although it only goes out that far. Doesn't go any further than that. But they do go all the way around. In and out. Swivels at the bicep. Bends at the elbow. He's got a swivel at the hand. And the hand does open and close. Rotates at the waist. Hips are on double sockets. Up, down, and out. Swivels at the thigh. Bends at the knee. And this little front plate does move up and down to give him a little bit more posability there. Foot is on a nothing. It's got a hinge to go up and down, and the heel's got a hinge. No ankle tilt or anything like that. And from all I can see in this mode, everything looks painted pretty well. There's a few blemishes when the white goes to the I don't even know how. Yeah, when the white goes into the windshield there. Few blemishes there. But so far, he looks pretty solid, so... and that just looks like a blob. Zoom in as far as my camera will go. And this is probably not even gonna... Come on. There we go. So you can see the little chest logo there is not quite up to par. And you can also see some other blemishes now that we're zoomed in that I can't even see from where I'm sitting. A couple blemishes. Nothing major. And right before we go into transformation, though, I do want to mention plastic quality. It feels really good. There's a couple places where, like the hands, feel a little cheaper. So my thoughts are, it feels pretty close to masterpiece quality. Just not all the way there. But it's pretty close. And this seems to have some, point this out too. Either that's like some paint right here on this gear, or the plastic's like chipping off. I don't know. I think it's just paint. Which is weird because this one's, you can see this one's all plastic and this one's all plastic except for that one little hinge. Anyway. But the plastic does feel pretty good. Like I said, I mean, I've got Masterpiece Prowl. That's the other thing I could compare it to, and as far as I could tell, it's close. It's not quite the same kind of plastic as he is. I do feel a little bit of a difference there, but not major, and nothing like. Okay, he doesn't feel like the same plastic. Throw it away. It's just something like the hood and all that, and the legs feel the same. It's like the arms and the hands mostly that feel a little different. Anyway, let's get into transformation. I'm wasting enough time on this. So what you want to do, and I've only done this a couple times, so bear with me if I make a few mistakes. Pull this section out like this and get this out of the way. And then you can take these side panels and they just kind of unhinge and then clip into place. And then you want to pull the chest out. Now this is one thing, when I first got him, this little hinge right here, this little clip, is supposed to clip in underneath the hood. When I first got him, mine did not fit in at all, so I actually had to trim this down and open up that hood section a little bit to get it to work. So, anyway. Fold out the arms like so. This rotates around like this, and then you just, it's on double hinge there, so it just hinges up. I guess before you do that, you want to open up this panel and you flip the hands in, close that up, and then you double hinge this in, and that will lock into place right there. Do the same thing over here. I'll flip the hand in, close it up, lock that in like so. Then this whole assembly should be able to go up like so. And we'll just leave it like that for now. Alright, down here you want to flip the heel spur in. Spur in. This will come up here like so. You want to unpeg this whole section here. Right? Oh, there it goes. So this section here comes up and it'll fold up like this. And then there's this little side panel that you just fold in like so. Just do that. Up, in, like so. This will come around like so. Fold the foot out straight. You want to take this tail fin, pull it out, rotate this whole assembly around. And as you do that, you want to pull this around as well. So do that. Just like so. And then you can take this piece right here and you fold this up and in. Do the same thing over here. We'll do it in backwards or upside down. Rotate this around, and again you want to pull this piece out as you're doing this. We'll pull this up. Lock those into place. Lock the back fins into place. Fold this piece up. I'm hoping you guys are getting all this. Yeah. But he comes in car mode, so I'm going to focus more on transforming it back. Alright, fold these arms in. What's going on here? What's going on? Get this attached to the hood, and then we'll take this and fold this up. And there's like little tabs on the hood section that you just kind of gotta get to go into place here. Like so. And then these panels should just be able to lock into place. Lock into place. Give this a good push. There you go. And then these wheels, there's a little tab in there that fits on this little... There's no way you guys are going to be able to see this. Let's try and get this light closer. So there's a little tab right back there. Or a little hole right there, and then there's a little tab that's right here. There you go. And so you want to rotate that up and then peg that in. The same thing over here. Light out a little bit and kind of adjust him a little bit. Things. Make sure everything's nice, solid, clicked together. Because once you do that, everything will line up a little bit better. That's pretty much all there is to do at this point, is just kind of push on things and make sure they're in properly. Now this panel I've yet to be able to get in very well. There it goes. No. See, there's this big gap right here. This side has it too, and I think it's just not gonna happen there. Not going to happen. There it goes. Alright, so we got into car mode. Rolls. That's my official. It rolls. It doesn't roll very well. Wiggling this whole tire right here. Same with this one. This one's not as bad as this one. This one feels like it's about to come off. This one's pretty loose too. Back tires are good. The tires are bald. I think that's just the mold, but you know, if they have big meaty tires, they kind of grip a little bit better. Car mode is not as impressive as robot mode. That is for sure for me. I cannot get this like tail fin to click together, and it seems like just a simple clip together. So if I can't get that together, that's why I'm having trouble getting him into car mode. I mean, it kind of works, but not really. This symbol in the middle is absolutely terrible. Whoever painted that, I mean, I could probably do a better job than that. There's some spots in the paint right here. You can see kind of. Oh, you can't really see that. Let's see here. I don't know how well that's coming off. Let's try to zoom in here. Well, in my camera it looks fine, but in person you can see like just some spots where it's a little faded. Let's see here. You can see where the Lamborghini logo is. Lamborghini, stuff like that. On this side, this logo is much better on this side. Still a little odd, but this one just looks like a 3-year-old painted that. I mean, that just looks pretty bad. But all in all, I mean, he does do a pretty good job of that. Let me get this one into car mode real quick, and then we'll compare the two. So I'll pause this for a second. Alright, so here is the universe red alert next to him. You can see, I mean, they're both he's a little bit, he's a lot wider. Let's see. So he's a lot wider, and he's a little longer as well. So, yeah. Honestly, though, despite the fact that I have some problems with this one... Oh, he's rolling good now. Some paint defects, and the wheels are a little funky, and this thing's not folded in right. I do like the car a lot better than this one. I just think this is more G1, so I can't argue with G1 accuracy there. So, I do like it. It is a good car mode. It has problems, but those could just be mine. KOs have a tendency of having, are just notorious with having unstable paint schemes and such. So, let's go ahead and get them into robot mode, and I'll go through final thoughts and some size comparisons. So, pull these tires out here. Just pull them out and fold them up, like so. Unplug this front section here. Plug it. Unplug it. And it all folds down just a little bit. You can fold up his head and close up his head. You want to just kind of pull these arms out, fold them all the way up, and then pull this whole assembly here up. Just kind of get that out of the way. Rotate these sections here down. And things like this, I mean, they clip in very well. They hold very well. It's really good for a KO. I mean, that's incredible. Fold this piece around. And this piece will come up like so. Fold this down, and you want to fold this panel here out. And on the bottom of this panel, there's a tab right there that plugs into this hole right there. It's kind of hard to get it in there, but once you get in there, it's good. It's locked. It's great. And this is a Hasbro portion that I have to give major credit to. These legs are incredible. I love the way they transform. They're not like the typical, just fold out the hollow leg and maybe flip a panel out. I mean, they completely like disassemble and then reassemble in a different configuration to make the legs. It's not just so typical fold out the legs and you're done design. It works very well. I really dig it. I think they did a great job designing this. And this knockoff company, whoever it is that's behind this, has done a really good job of reproducing that. There is that. Flip down this waist piece here. You want to take the arms, fold them out, and then rotate them down. Not that you can see any of that. And then you open that up and you flip out the hand. So again, you want to take this whole arm here, fold this all the way up, rotate this down, open up the side panel, flip out the hand, close that up, and rotate the chest down. It'll come all the way down, and then down below here, like I showed off before, there's a little notch that's cut out of the black bumper that this piece here will click into. Now mine, it did not work the first time. I had to trim it, but now it just goes in real easy. I don't know if that's something that is true to the or if it's just the fact that this is the KO. My guess is the KO Masterpiece generally don't have that kind of an issue, but I mean, it's always possible. Take these side panels here and you fold them in just like so. Do the same thing over here, just like so, and then this whole assembly comes down. Come on, goes down. Come on. There we go. Just kind of collapse it all up. Then kind of just... I can't find a way to make this lock into place, though. I don't think it does, and I think that's just the design, not so much this particular knockoff. So then you can take his gun, and like I said, he can't really hold it very well with his right hand, but the left hand seems to do pretty good on holding it. There we go. And give him a shoulder cannon. And there we have Masterpiece Red Alert in robot mode. And again, if you guys want to see how he compares to the actual Masterpiece Red Alert, please check out the video link that I'm putting in the description. That will again take you over to Rocket Punch Army, and he's got these guys. He's got both the original and the knockoff. So he'll be able to show every little detail of what's different in between the two. I was watching his videos, and that's what made me decide, you know what? I'll give these knockoffs a shot, see how I feel. And so far, I'm not disappointed. There's a few issues with it, being like the plastic quality. Like I said, it feels good, but there's a couple places that feel a little different. I'm not sure if that gun is supposed to be solid or not, but mine's hollow. I don't like that, and if it was the real Masterpiece figure, I wouldn't like that either. There's a few issues I have with it. Paint details in the car mode more than robot mode. Just a few little things here and there. But like I said, I'm taking into account the fact that this is a knockoff figure, and it's half the cost of a Masterpiece figure. And for that, I have to say this thing is actually really, really damn good. Like I said, I mean, half the cost, but the engineering is the same. The design is the same. Yeah, you get a few paint mishaps here and there, and the tires are a little loose and stuff like that. But ultimately, I think it's a pretty great reproduction of a Masterpiece figure. And I forgot to do this here. I actually am very impressed with it. If he had these problems and he was the Masterpiece figure, $80 a piece, I'd be very upset. And this is Red Alert. I don't like Red Alert. That's why I bought the KO of Red Alert and Smokescreen, is because I'm not a huge fan of the character. So I wanted the Masterpiece on my shelf, but if I got cheap ones, I wouldn't be too upset if they weren't very good. But these are actually really good, and he's actually become one of my favorite figures just to mess around with. The transformation's really fun. It doesn't lock in very well at certain spots, but that could be user error there. Aside from this tail fin, I cannot get that tail fin to lock in for the life of me. And I can sit here and I can be like, okay, you know what? Maybe if I trim this down, and maybe if I glue a little bit on the handle to make it so that it fits, maybe put a little bit more glue on the shoulder can and make that fit. I'm not sitting here like, oh, well, he's a real Masterpiece figure, so I don't want to do that. All in all, it's a great figure. I really dig it. And I'm very impressed with this knockoff company. Very, very impressed. I've had some really bad luck with knockoffs, so I think this is a really good figure. All in all, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. If he were a Masterpiece, I probably would give him a much lower score, because the Masterpiece figure is a much more expensive figure. But for being half the cost of a Masterpiece figure, I have to give him, I give him a higher score, because even though he's got issues that would make a higher price, I hope you guys are following me. If he's a higher priced figure with the same problems, he gets a lower score, but lower cost figure with the same problems gets a higher score, because he's still a great figure. And I'm not sitting here like, well, I just dropped $80 on this guy. I dropped $35 on this guy. I wasn't expecting Masterpiece figure really, but he's pretty close. He's pretty close to a Masterpiece quality. I wouldn't. I know a lot of people are saying that they're hard to tell with the difference. I could tell pretty much right out of the bat that it's not a Masterpiece figure, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good figure, very well designed and very well executed by this company. I'm very impressed. I really like it. I really I think this is a good toy. I do recommend it. It depends on what kind of person you are. If you're the kind of person that only buys Masterpiece figures and will only go with the authentic figures, then obviously this is not for you. There's no question of how good it is or how bad it is or what it costs. It's not the real thing, so don't get it. But if you're like me and you're like, well, I want the mold. I don't want to break the bank. Because, I bought him and the smokescreen for the same price of one Masterpiece car. So I'm very, very happy with that. Anyway, let's get into some size comparison. Here he is next to the Seeker mold, who's going to be retired soon. So you see how he stacks up there. Clearly, the scale does not work. But here he is next to the Universe one, and he's a head taller than him. Infinitely better design, infinitely better looking. And with him, even him, he's still a head taller than the Seeker mold. And that scale does not work with the Seekers. There's just no way around it. Which is why I got the iGear Seekers. Because, honestly, those classic Seekers, they're the best molds there are. If some company wants to make them bigger, just upscale them to Voyager, then I would buy all of them. But here they are next to the iGear Seeker. And this is about right. This is where I would put them in this scale. And finally, because I got the great background, I can use my Ramjet again, who is my favorite of them. And here he is next to Masterpiece Prowl, and this is the real Masterpiece Prowl. It was just a little taller, just the tiniest bit, just about the same size though. Here is, I just figure, these guys would be good comparison because it does represent the classics cars. Here is next to Reveal the Shield Jazz, who I think more than anything, I really dig this mold. But I think of all the classics cars, Jazz is probably the most iconic, I think. So I would say he should be up on the slab next. Come on, Hasbro. Masterpiece Jazz. Everybody would love a Masterpiece Jazz figure. Here he is next to the Universe smokescreen. And I'm pretty much going to use the same comparisons for the smokescreen review when I get to him. Why are you not standing? And, of the classic card, this is the most dated mold. It does not... it doesn't look so bad at the camera, but in person, it does look bad. And, last but not least, we'll throw... Faith Leader back here, who I think still scales pretty well with these guys. If he was a better quality, I'd be all in on this, on that guy. But I am going to try and replace him with a Masterpiece Prime. So there you go. Knockoff Masterpiece Red Alert is a pretty good figure. Not perfect, but pretty good. Like I said, 8 out of 10, but only get it if you are in for a knockoff figure, a really good knockoff figure. But don't buy it if you're wanting the Masterpiece figures. Don't do that.